Alright, today's spotlight's going to be on the Crimson Mechasaur. He's a vendor pet here in Undermine. You just have to come to, well, it's about, let's see, 3541, where I'm standing. You'll just come over to Diffuse Boy, and you have to spend 10 miscellaneous Mechanica to buy him. So, if you don't want to bother farming these miscellaneous Mechanica, you can buy them off the auction house for generally about 1 to 2 million gold. But I'll go over how I collected 10 of them at the end of the video. If you want to fast forward to there, I'll show you kind of my route. Long story short, it's going to be lots of farming rares every day. Farming the weekly rares has a chance to drop them. And then once you get this renown with the Cartels of Undermine up to 13, then you can start looting these dumpsters. They're called, it shows up as a treasure on your map, overflowing dumpsters. So we can probably find one. I'll show you what they looked out like over here. These purple dumpsters. Usually there will be about 10 in the zone up at once. So you just come click them. And then they have about a 1% chance to drop these miscellaneous Mechanica, and you need 10 of them. So the only way to get them is locked behind RNG, so it's very time consuming, but very doable. I mean, you can. It took me about 5 days, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So if you know what you're doing, you can farm 10 of these out in probably 2 or 3 days. Maybe 1 or 2 days if you're like pretty lucky, because it's only about a 1 to 5% drop chance from all the sources that can drop them. But I'll go over my route for where these dumpsters can spawn, and then the rares you'll want to be killing if you're not familiar with the zone at the end of the video. For now, let's talk about the pet. So he's got that mechanical racial, arguably second best in the game. You could say it's even better than the undead, but yeah, mechanical racial is fantastic, especially since he has good health. So when he comes back to life, there's a good chance he can survive for an extra attack, since he's that HP breed and he has a little bit of beefy health to work with. His attack power is really great. 330 is higher than your average power. So he's going to be hitting real hard. And then his speed's really low, but he doesn't really care that much about speed. He gets just as much damage done whether he goes first or second. But that is kind of a handicap. So there's a couple cons to this pet. The first one I'd say is that speed is really lackluster. So he's going to be going second more often than not. He doesn't really have a decoy breaker. The closest thing he has to it is Armageddon, which is going to kill you. So not very viable as a decoy breaker. And obviously no weather changer. So I don't think I would categorize him as an S tier pet by any means, but he's a solid A tier pet. He can get a lot of damage done. You can run decoy and deflection, which is he's the only pet that can do that, and he's the only mechanical that has deflection, period. So really good ability if you can predict like a sandstorm or darkness or something for avoiding one-shots. I think the most fun build is generally going to be Razor Talons, Rip, and Deflection. Or you could run Armageddon if you want. But if you want to play Decoy, Decoy is definitely very viable in PvP. So you could run Deflection or Armageddon with Decoy, and then just use Chomp for a basic attack. So several different builds that you can have success with. I think the most fun one is going to be the Bleed build, but I have several teams trying out different movesets, and you can definitely have success with any of his moves. They're all viable. So I'm going to try out these different teams with him, and I'll talk about my route that I would take to farm out these currencies at the end of the video. Okay, Triple Darkness. He's going to start with Widget, I think. That's a bad matchup for my Violent Pultrid. Let's start with the Crimson Mechasaur. Oh, yeah, not Widget. I bet the one with the one-shot. I always get these two mixed up. There's two Undeads with Darkness. I figured he would start with the one with Prowl, which is the Cursed Vermin. So let's go for Rip. And then he's going to go for Prowl, and then hopefully I could Deflection Occult Darkness here. He could still hit me pretty hard with Spirit Claws with that Prowl, though. Kind of want to save my Mechasaur for later. He could be pretty decent versus Widget, so... Let's bring in the Pultrid. Oh, thank goodness he missed. That was still going to hit pretty hard. It's a 150% damage buff. I don't think he's going to stay in. So let's go for Whirling Talons. It will... Let's see here. It'll refresh that bleed, but I don't think it overrides it. So you see it's still doing that bleed damage as if it was my high attack power mechanicals. But I extended the duration, which is nice. So he's probably going to go for Spectral Strike, and this is where I wanted the Crimson Mechasaur so I could take weak damage from that Spectral Strike. And then he'll probably go for Call Darkness, so let's go for Deflection. And then he's got 2 rounds of bleed on all 3 of his pets, so it's a good time to go for Razor Talons. Buff up that bleed damage. And then he's probably going to go for Surge of Light. So, don't really want to swap into somebody else just to get stunned. I think my best bet is just attack him with Rip, and then if he misses, then I bleed him up again. If he doesn't, well, I'm stunned and he can't stun somebody else, so... this is looking pretty good. So far, I'm 2 for 2 on using Deflection on a Call Darkness, so that's it's always good for us. Let's bring in the Violent Pultrid, and then if he decides to swap out Twilight, I could still hit him with Whirling Talons on the back line while he has Razor Talons up. I mean, as long as I don't miss. Still faster than Twilight, although I'm going to die to that dot. So let's go ahead and send them all before we die. We take out the one-shot pet, which is great. That means I could either go for a dive or a deflection on this next turn. I'm kind of thinking... Let's go for the dive. He has these bleeds on him, so... Once my dive is over, I can land a Blood in the Water on somebody. Either pet's great. Honestly, he'll probably bring in the Undead, because dive will just finish off Twilight. Okay, we'll go ahead and take that Call Darkness. He's going to hit me with Spectral Strike, but it shouldn't kill me, because I'm going to be taking 25% less damage. So even if it crits... Ooh, if it crits, maybe it will kill me. Ooh, thank goodness. Thank goodness he didn't go for that Spectral Strike. Let's bring in the Crimson Mechasaur. My Snapdragon's faster than Twilight, so... I'm thinking he's probably going to go for the Surge of Light. So let's go ahead and try to deflection that. And as long as I land this Rip, he's going to die to it. Even if I miss, all I have to do is land one more attack on him. Okay, Anomalous, Jingles, and an Idol. Start with the Fiendish Imp. He's decent versus Anomalous, kind of not so great versus these two. Trying to decide, do I go for Immolation first? Just swap them right away. gonna go for Nethergate. If he's running Huge Fang, I don't want him to get his weather up. Because then he's just gonna go to town with Huge Fang. It'll be doing max damage instantly. Since it's bugged under toxic fumes. I think I'm gonna stay and attack for a second, see what he does. I'm assuming he's running Pounce. Typically that's gonna be the better build, but he has Huge Fang. I can probably afford to take one hit. Okay, he does have Pounce, so he's not going for the toxic fumes. Cheese. Jingles is going to kill the Fiendish Imp if I don't swap out, so I have to go for the Crimson Mechasaur here. And I think the best bet is just go straight for Armageddon. I don't think there's much point going for these two abilities, because Jingles will die anyways, and I'm going to die in 2 hits, so I have one turn to make something happen here. I think the move here is just send the Armageddon, and then hopefully I win this 2v2. I don't think I will, but we'll see what happens. I do have Nethergate back, so if he brings in that Anomalous, I can just swap him right away. And if he tries to go for a Juke, he's already almost below his magic racial. I could high roll and kill him with a burn before he gets anything done. He's not going for the Juke. Let's see here. So Sandstorm won't kill me quite yet. Let's go for a burn. Oh, and he pressed Sandstorm. That's great. That means I can bring my Briarhorn in, and as long as he's not a psychopath running Demolish, I'll be taking weak damage from his basic attacks. We'll probably go for Deflection, and that's just fine. I just need that weather to be gone so that I can start hitting him with Immolation. Oh, and he didn't press Deflection. Okay, that was greedy. So I'm pretty sure if I go for... If I go for Trihorn Charge, I don't think it'll kill him. Which is good, because I want to have Trihorn Charge for Anomalous here at the end. Okay, so... Oh, Immolation's gone. Okay. I think I have to send the Headbutt. He's just not pressing that Deflection. Okay. I mean, maybe if he pressed Deflection at some point, he could have won. But at this point, I have an 85% chance to just end the game. Let's see here. Let's go for Trihorn Charge. I think my Imp will die on the backline. Oh, never mind. I was assuming I might miss. Okay. Landed it. Sweet. It's a tough team to beat. Okay, so he has 2 decoys, and an Unborn Valk. I'm assuming he'll start with the Valk. I don't really want to take that undead damage on my Renishu Runt, but my team's a little scripted. Yeah, I'm going to start with the Mechasaur. I just can't. Normally, I want to start with the Renishu Runt and get my Swarm of Flies and Lightning rolling, but that's just not going to work out. So let's see here. We'll go ahead and send a decoy. Hopefully we can block a Curse of Doom. I'm more worried about that Curse of Doom than Haunt, I think. Because Haunt hurts him just as much as it hurts me, since it costs him half his health. But Curse of Doom is weird, because it's a dot, but it doesn't count as a dot, so Aquatics still take regular damage from it. I mean, it's undead damage, so it's weak, but... Okay, let's bring in the Renishu Runt. Didn't really finish my thought, but I'll get back to that in a second. So let's go for... Let's just spam Swarm of Flies until that decoy's gone. But yeah, the other thing about Curse of Doom is even though you would think you take 25% less damage from the Valk after he dies, since he dies with his undead racial. It still does full damage, which I think is a little weird. Okay, fortunately he didn't swap in the Zeppelin. If he did, he could get out a decoy before I throw up my swarm of flies. But the good news is, now, even if he presses decoy, it's going to be gone instantly to lightning. Because, first of all, lightning's going to take the first hit, or the first charge of it, and then when the swarm of flies hits him, that second charge of lightning immediately takes the second charge of decoy, so... Don't know if I explained that very well, but yeah. At the end of the day, the decoy's gone, so that's what matters. It's not a fantastic decoy breaker, but lightning does break decoy if you have a dot like a swarm of flies or wild winds or something already rolling. Could save my Renishu runt for later, maybe. I'm not sure if it's worth it, though. I think it's not. I mean, he's too slow. That was a really low roll. Like, that was a tragically low roll missile there, because it's buffed by 25% under lightning, and it still only did... well, like 200 damage or something. Anyways. I think I want to probably bring in my Mechasaur. Swarm of flies will kill him, so now's a great time to go for a decoy. And he's probably going to go for decoy here. So lightning will not break decoy if it's just like a regular attack, because the attack just gets blocked, but... Let's go for Chomp. What I'll do is I'll stay on my Mechasaur till he's dead, and then I think my Spirit Crab can win this 1v2. Because he's going to be taking weak damage from Breath. Oh, maybe I just go for Armageddon. Yeah, let's do it. Because I'm about to lose my decoy, and then that bomb will kill me anyways. So we'll break the decoy and then kill the Valk on the back line. And, wait. Still have my decoy up. Oh. Oh, right. He'd only attacked once. Oh, that's fantastic news. Alright. In that case, we'll just go for Ant Magic. Since I figured he would probably try to soak something with his Valk there. And then... yeah, I should be winning this. I have plenty of health left on the Spirit Crab. Unless he crits with Thunderbolt. That's the only thing that could maybe bring this back for him. Because he's going to be hitting me for weak damage with Breath. And now that I have Rot on him, if he goes for Decoy, the every turn, it transforms him into an undead. And that undead transformation that applies Undead Mark, this counts as an attack, even though it doesn't do any damage. So this Undead Mark is a Decoy Breaker. Let's see here, 234 is more than 230. Great job, Spirit Crab. SS Bone Serpent, SS Crow, and Anomalous. It's probably going to start with Anomalous, I would imagine. Purple Storm looks pretty good, actually, into Anomalous, so what I can do here is get Wild Winds rolling, and we got a nice crit to open up. Then, okay, we'll take that Corrosion, and that's fine, because we can stun him, and I don't think he's going to get a single other attack out if he stays in. Even without the crit, I think the crit is kind of irrelevant, but it definitely seals the deal. Because now I could just hit him with Wild Winds again, and he should be in kill range to call Lightning. The crit really helps, though, because that means I can just kill him with Wild Winds. And then save Call Lightning for one of these two. So. He would have been better off just probably starting with Poison Protocol and then swapping out once I stunned him. So let's see here. Bone Serpent is probably the biggest problem, so I'm going to go ahead and hit him with Call Lightning. I'm not sure if I want to save the Elemental versus the Crow. I'm already kind of low on HP. And typically Elementals do well into Flyers with Nocturnal Strike because they can't land their Nocturnal Strike, but he's going to be faster than me even with his without his flying racial. Oh, does Wild Wind still hit through Liftoff? It sure does. That's fantastic news. Let's see here. How about... I bring in the Marionette, I think. I'm just not going to bother with using Armageddon. I don't think there's really a reason to. I'll just use the Crimson Mechasaur to throw up Razor Talons later on. Well, let me think about this. Let's go for Bone Barrage. And then on the Undead round, I could either swap in the Crimson Mechasaur, could throw down Death and Decay. I guess I'll just go for Death and Decay. Because my Marionette's already pretty low on HP. I'd like to keep my Mechasaur nice and healthy so that he has a good chance versus the Crow. It'd be better off if I was running Deflection here for sure. But I think I'll be just fine. I'll just not use Armageddon. I'll be probably just fine. So we'll go for Bone Barrage, refresh that dot duration, and then once I get Black Claw on him, he should be taking big damage. From Rip with these two undead dots. Okay, bring in our Mechasaur. Unless I miss a whole bunch and he lands a bunch of crits, I should win this 1v1, and I still have the Primal Stormling. You can survive like one attack. Maybe finish him off with a Call Lightning or something. So we'll go for Razor Talons. Pretty crucial I land this, but maybe still winnable if I don't. This is a scary combo, but his attack power is so low, 227. I don't think... Oh, he thought I would go for Deflection. That's unfortunate. He went for Alpha Strike. His one chance was to go for Nocturnal Strike and crit me, and for me to miss. Now that I have Black Claw and these dots on him, it's game over. The dots are just going to shred through that flyer in no time. Okay, Murgleton, Shadow, and Spinebug. Probably going to start with Spinebug, right? Let's start with the Fouling Buzzer. He's going to go for Dazzling Dance, so let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and swap him. If he goes for Soul Rush, I take weak damage on my Mechasaur, so let's do that. No stun. He's going to go for that Call Darkness. And then he'll probably swap. So let's go for... I know he's going to go for that Call Darkness. I want to go for Deflection, but he's just going to swap out. I really want to get a dot rolling on him. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Rip. Take a lot of damage, but I have a dot on him, which will punish him for swapping, which is what I think he's about to do here. So if he weirdly stays in, it'd be good for me to go for Razor Talons. I'm like 99% certain. Yeah, he's going to swap to Spinebug. So now I can get a Nice dot on him. And he's going to go for squeeze, probably. Let's go for a deflection. Huge. Okay. I know he's running squeeze and tail slap, so I don't want to bring my wailing lasher in. My fouling buzzer isn't going to be super fantastic versus either of these magic pets, so I think... Gonna save my mechanical for later. I could swap him out, but 494. If I miss, man. Let's send it. I think it's worth it. I am still faster than both of his magic pets, as long as I have my flying racial. So, I think what I want to do here is it Great Sting or Bite? I think Great Sting is a little better. Just to hit that shadow. Oh, he stunned me. Kind of irrelevant, though. I was going to be slower anyways, so... We'll go ahead and sacrifice the fouling buzzer, because he's probably too slow to be any use to me from here on out. I think my Wailing Lasher should be able to 1v1 Shadow, and then the Crimson Mechasaur can take out Shady Murgleton if he stays in here. Let's see. Rip is going to be... a little bit more damage. Let's go for Rip. Oh, and he crit me with the high roll. If I miss this Rip, I think he's got me. Okay. Is there any point in going for deflection? He's probably just going to go for a Shadow Shock, right? Let me go for Razor Talons. That way if he misses, I can buff up my damage on feed to get a big heal. I'm not blinded by darkness, so that light won't hit me for extra damage. That Call Darkness is a problem, though. Gonna go for Toxic Fumes. And then I have to go for Feed, because he's about to hit me with Call Darkness. Fortunately, I'm an elemental, so I don't have to worry about missing, and that darkness doesn't nerf my healing. So unless he's like high rolls with a super crit, I should be in the clear here. All right, yeah, close game. If he got that early stun, I think he had me, or if I just missed a single time. All right, triple darkness. I think he's going to start with the Dread Hatchling. I'm going to start with Anomalous. Okay, starts with the Murgleton. I'm going to go for Poison Protocol. And he stunned me. Okay, well, let's take weak damage on the beast. And go for Zoomies. Alright. It's probably going to go for Nocturnal Strike. I think the move here is... save my beast for later. I don't have enough health on Anomalous, so Crimson Mechasaur is the only play. Could try to deflection a Call Darkness. I think that's what he's going to do. Then he'll probably swap out. So let's go for a Rip. If he goes for that Soul Rush, it's weak damage versus me, so I'm just going to stay put and hope that it doesn't stun me. He's going to go for it anyways, I bet. Okay. Fortunately, no stun that time. And now he's going to go for Darkness again, which will take my Mechanical Racial. Maybe I take it on the Fell Snooter because it's weak damage. I'm going to do that. As long as it doesn't crit. I should still be able to survive a couple more attacks. And then with one more Zoomies, I'll be faster than this flyer, even without his flying racial. And I might take it here because I have a beast racial. Missed a couple Zoomies, but I am now faster than him. He's going to go for that Nocturnal Strike. I'm going to bring in the Mechanical. And he's going to have to burn Call Darkness to take my racial. So I'm going to try to deflection another one. It'd be huge if I could. Awesome. I think he's running Shadow Talon, so there's a very high chance I survive this attack here. Okay, swapping out that Dread Hatchling. I think that the Rusty Root Fell Snooter is going to 1v1 his Dread Hatchling later on, because I'm already faster than him. It's pretty insane that I am, but yeah, that's Zoomies for you. Could maybe try to save the Mechasaur for later. I think what I'll do is sack him. I'll go for the Razor Talons in case he missed. There's always that 90%. Oh, low roll. That's huge. I think that's game over. The fact that he low rolled there. You never know with Darkness. Anything could happen, but right now it's not looking good for him. What I'm going to do is sacrifice the Mechasaur. Actually, if I land a bunch of Zoomies, I can probably just kill him. Nah, I'm going to bring an Anomalous. We'll go for... Let's see here. Corrosion or Poison Protocol? Let's go for Poison Protocol. I need to get that flyer down low. Ooh, I missed my Poison Protocol on him. It's not the end of the world, though. The dot still applies, even though I missed. Which is pretty broken. Let's see. I'm going to bring in the Fell Snooter, because he's going to go for Darkness, and that'll be weak damage. And then, if I can get him down below 515, then Toxic Fume should kill him. Because Anomalous is faster than him once he loses that racial. I think the move here is go for Gnaw. As long as I land it, it'll be a little bit more damage to Zoomies. And then just have to land this Toxic Fumes. Okay, so he has an SS Lost Limb, SS Clinging Remains, and Toe Nibbler. PS. Let's see here. How about... Let's start with Cobble Shell. He can swap me out, but he can't stun me, so... He's probably going to go for that Death Grip. I'm just going to go for Rock Barrage in case he doesn't. And then, maybe I go for Call of Winter. faster than his team right now. But he's going to have Primal Cry, so I guess it makes sense to go ahead and stun him. Damn, that was a high roll. 500 damage. Let's bring in Cobbleshell, and now that Blizzard's up, my Rock Barrage is going to be doing big damage. He might haunt me. Oh, we went for Bone Barrage. Okay. Right. He's probably going to go for that haunt. So I'm going to go ahead and just press Stone Form now. Oh, he went for the Tornado Punch. Well, that's not going to be able to stun Cobbleshell. But yeah, I want to go ahead and get that heal going early because he could just Death Grip me and swap me out to interrupt the heal. We'll take that haunt and then... He's going to bring in that Toe Nibbler, I bet, and go for Black Claw. So I could either go for Toxic Smoke and do strong damage to him. Could bring in Buttercup. I'm wondering, does he go for Black Claw or Primal Cry first? I feel like he's probably going to go for Black Claw first. Yeah, he did. He really wanted to buff up that haunt damage. Otherwise, I don't think he has a way to kill Cobbleshell. So we'll go ahead and stun him because he's about to go for Primal Cry and then it'll be slower. I think I want to go for Call Winter while I still have the weather out so it does extra damage. And then, I should survive Empowering Strikes here, but I have Black Claw on me with a Beast Racial, so it may be if he crits, I'll die. I'm just going to go for it. I am faster than him. If I could take this guy's Undead Racial, I should be in a pretty good spot. Because this is the only guy that can really do anything to interrupt my Stone Form, which is going to be off cooldown here shortly. Huh, he went for the stun. Maybe I could save Buttercup for later. Primal Cry is just going to kill him, though. Let's bring in the Mechasaur. If he brings in this guy, I'm like 100% certain he's about to go for Tornado Punch. Because right now, it's not looking good for him. He needs like an absolute miracle to win this. And yeah, that was his last chance. So we'll take out his Undead Racial, and then the Toe Nibbler's scary. I don't think he's 1v3ing me or anything. Actually, I just realized what I can do here is... I could bring in Buttercup, and Bone Barrage won't kill me. So I could stun the Toe Nibbler, and should be able to no-time him here. No, I think I'll stay. I'm wondering, do I go for Temporal Anomaly? I think I'll just go for Cyclone and not worry about Temporal Anomaly till later. Obviously, I need it first as an Indigo, but I'm assuming he's just going to try to waste time with the Blossoming Ancients for now. He might bring in that Indigo and fuck with my Jade Mist Dancer, though. I guess the question is... Yeah, I'm just going to play it safe and go for Temporal Anomaly. Because if he brings in that Indigo, he's going to be having way too much fun versus my Jade Mist Dancer. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring in our Jade Mist Dancer here. Crimson Mechasaur isn't too useful. Yeah, see, he brought in the Jade... I knew he would do that. Or I suspected he would. Well, this is perfect, because now I'm faster than him. Question is... No, yeah, there's really no question. I have 3 rounds left on Cyclone. Now is the time to go for Rain Dance. So he's bringing in the Blossoming Ancient. Question is, does he go for the heal, or does he go for Sunlight? I think he's going to go for that heal. I'm going to go for Acid Rain. He might change my weather right away, but if he does, I'll probably just kill that Blossoming Ancient instantly. And if I can crit him with a Rain Dance Steam Vent, there's a 55% chance I crit him right now. And if I high roll with a crit, he is dead. So I'm going to go ahead and send it. Perfect. Alright, well this is looking very promising. Let's see here. I have my weather changer here shortly. I'm going to lose my speed advantage here, though. Do I swap back to the Infinite Hatchling? Let's just go for Steam Vent. I have my weather out, so I'm doing an extra 25% damage with my aquatic abilities. And then if he goes for Sunlight, I can change it on the next round. That Indigo is still going to be a problem once I lose that speed debuff on him, but the priority here is change the weather, because he's probably going to go hide on the back line and try to heal up to full. And that's not going to work if I change his weather. Oh, he's staying in. Okay. Well, that Indigo dies in like 2 hits, which is great news. And I'm actually still faster than him for 2 rounds, so if he brings an Indigo, he'll just die. And also, if he stays in on Brute, he will die, so... I think the only thing that I like better than beating double Blossoming Ancients is beating Wind Trading double Blossoming Ancients. There's just a special kind of player behind this team. Okay, he's probably going to go for a kick, right? Or a dodge. So let's bring in the Infinite Hatchling, since I'm probably not going to be able to hit him anyways. Perfect, he went for a kick. Alright, so he's probably going to go for dodge, which means if I go for Temporal Anomaly, it's just going to miss. Let's go for Cyclone. And then I think I'll just sacrifice the Infinite Hatchling so that I get a free swap into the Crimson Mechasaur. He's running Deflection and Decoy, so I should have no trouble beating Indigo. I still have my Mechanical Racial. We'll just go ahead and pass here. And then, yeah, even if he low rolls, he is going to kill me. He has his Beast Racial. That's fine. We'll just pass. He's going to go for a kick. If one Cyclone lands, he will die. So that's fantastic. Let's bring in the Crimson Mechasaur. And if he kicks me, then I can hit him on the next round, so... Let's go for Decoy. That way, if he went for the attack and high rolled, I can still hit him on the next round. And if he went for the kick, well, Now he has no way to avoid damage, so pretty straightforward win. Alright. Triple Sandstorm. Start with a Crimson Mechasaur. He shouldn't be able to break decoy, so let's go ahead and get that decoy down. Maybe we can block a sandstorm or something. Ah, I went for absorb. Well, it was worth a shot. We go for chomps here until he presses some cooldowns. Okay, spam and absorb. Okay, there's the mudslide. I could take out Roggy here with 2 chomps. I think I'm going to go for it. We'll just take the sandstorm on our Crimson Mechasaur. And then, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and just send the Armageddon. That'll kill Roggy on the back line. Get some decent damage into these other 2 sandstorm pets. And then let's bring in the droplet, because I can do strong damage versus elementals. And if he wants to press sandstorm, I can change his weather. I bet he's going to press sandstorm right away, so I'm going to go for acid rain. And then sadly, I'm still slowed from quicksand. Might be able to save the droplet for later. I wonder if he has obsidian bite or stone rush. I think either way, I want to swap the droplet out. Okay, he does have the basic attack. So let's go for surges for now. It's big damage under Cleansing Rain. If I crit, I could have killed him there. I think what I want to do here is we'll go for Rot right away. He might deflection. I think what I'll do is spam surge for now. And then I think he's going to deflection on my undead round. So I'll go for Ant Magic on the undead round, and then hopefully he'll be under 25% health, and I can kill him with a Swallow You Whole. He's going to be above that 30%, or that 25%. But he's definitely going to deflection here. I'm positive he will. So I'm not going to bother going for Rot. Yeah, there's the deflection. If he low rolls or misses with Crush, I win, because I'm faster than him. Do an extra 50% damage, but he's not taking double damage from Swallow You Whole yet. I'm going to go for Swallow You Whole. There is that 10% chance he misses. Oh, he low rolled. Ah, so close. You almost had me. Damn, triple sandstorm goes down. RNG, though. I think majority of the time that team will beat mine. Great job, Droplet of Ishiraj. Start with the Fell-Afflicted Skyfin. Go ahead and throw up a Felt Immolate. Let's go for a Wing Buffet. If he brings Anomalous back in, he's just going to die to Felt Immolate, so... His best bet is probably to bring in the Bone Serpent. Okay. Well, that works. Anomalous is now dead. Considering he's pressed one ability, my team's health is not looking very good. Fortunately, he's running the HH, so I'll be able to get a Wild Magic on that Bone Serpent before my Fell-Afflicted Skyfin dies, and he missed a couple of those bones. Well, he missed one, which was just enough for me to get another Felt Immolate out. Ah, I missed. Well, fair's fair. He missed, and I missed. I want the Crimson Mechasaur versus Indigo. Bone Serpent's not going to win that 1v1. Let's see. Call Darkness will kill the Bone Serpent here. Well, they're not going to kill him, but the Felt Immolate will, I should say. Could go for Liftoff here. I'm gonna do that. It'll maybe allow me to stall out an extra turn of Bone Barrage, maybe? And maybe it'll force him to press Dust Cloud. Yeah, so now his dodge is on cooldown. Which is handy. Let's go for Bone Barrage. Because he's probably going to use that interrupt on me on my undead round. So we'll just pass. Now he has the interrupt, which means he's probably going to press it. So let's go for deflection. Hopefully dodge that kick. Nice. That's very good. Death Indicate does not break Decoy, but I kind of want to wait to press it until he goes for his Dust Cloud. So I'm going to go for a Chomp. He's probably going to dodge here. We'll go for Chomp. He's not pressing the dodge. His health is low. Both of us die in one attack, but I have a mech racial. He has to dodge. Yeah, there's the dodge. If that Death and Decay doesn't crit... Oh, he's going to go for the kick, isn't he? He's going to go for that kick. Let's go for Decoy. Maybe he'll... Yeah, he went for the smash. That was a big mind game. So now he can't kick me because I have Decoy up. GG. I wanted to go for deflection, but if I did, then he would have been able to interrupt me on the next turn, and then he would have killed me before I got the decoy out, so that was a crucial mind game to win. Right. Let's start with the Crimson Mechasaur. He's probably gonna throw up Dazzling Dance and swap out, so let's bleed him up first. Okay. Save my Mechasaur for later. He could be good versus Murgleton, I think. I'm gonna bring in Rebellious Imp. Oh, he's not bothering going for Dazzling Dance. He knows. He doesn't need it. Alright. In that case, let's go ahead and take out the Spine Bug. Then he'll die to Immolation on this turn, so it's a good time to go for Immolation. And if I portal, it brings in the Shin Chomper, which is not really ideal. So I think I'll just bring in the Mechasaur. Save my portal for later. Probably going to go for build turret here, so let's go for a Rip. I think he's going to go for Hammer. If he doesn't, it's probably fine. For me to go for Razor Talons either way. So if he swaps me, it'll bring in my Rebellious Imp. And if he tries to play Mind Games, I'll get a Razor Talons on him. So now I can go for a Portal. We'll bring in the Shin Chomper. I want to go for, I think, Ore of Gonk first. Because I'm going to be taking a lot of damage from all this mechanical attacks. Okay. Even if he lands a triple, I should survive. Okay, and he got a double. And so I think my dots will take out Mr. Delver, and they're going to give me lots of good healing. So I think here, let's see, Soul Rush won't kill me. Ooh, neither will Call Darkness. That's fantastic news. Let's go for a Rip. And no stun. That's good. Build turrets. Oh, build turret's not going to kill me. That healing is just too good. It's a double healing under 50% HP. So he's going to have to burn Call Darkness to kill me. And let's see here. Bring in the Mechasaur. Could go for deflection. He does have build turret up. I think that would be good. To go for deflection or Razor Talons. Let me go for deflection. Get a little bit of healing from Ore of Gonk. Avoid that turret damage. And then as long as I hit him one more time, he should die. We'll just go for Razor Talons. And he'll die to the dot. Darkness is a big problem for this team, though, because the backbone of it is Ore of Gonk. When you start cutting down that healing in half, it's not nearly as effective. It can take out one darkness pet. It's usually not going to beat like a triple darkness team, though. Well, we got triple darkness. This is going to be the true test for this team. I think he's going to start with Murgleton, so I'm going to start with the Mechasaur to take weak damage from Soul Rush. He started with Twilight. Well, I think he's running Pounce, if I remember right. This guy likes to run Pounce, so... Go ahead and bullied up this kitty cat. He'll probably go for Surge of Light, so let's try to deflection that. Okay. Wonder if he'll stay in. Might bring in Murgleton. I'm gonna go for Razor Talons in case he stays in. It'd be nice to get that combo on Twilight. Alright, 227 a pop. I don't think he'll die without crits, but that is some good damage. Let's save our Mechasaur for later, and we'll bring in the Imp to get Immolation rolling. And then with Immolation and Razor Talons, I think Twilight will die. Oh, he missed. That's going to happen sometimes when you play Triple Darkness. So he's going to go for Surge of Light. I'm going to portal that, and then he should die to the dots. Should have Aura of Gonk pretty soon here. So I think... probably want to go for Rip first, right? Then the question is, do I take the light on my Shin Chomper, or do I try to save him for later? It's going to be double damage, 600 damage. I don't think I'm going to survive for an Aura of Gonk if I stay in on my Shin Chomper, especially if he high rolls the Shadow Shock. So I'll just bring in the Mechanical. Oh, did he miss again? No, it's just really weak damage. Perfect, so I still have my Mechanical ratio. That's really good news. He might swap out. I think he's going to stay in. I'm going to go for Razor Talons. This guy doesn't swap very often. At least when he's playing Triple Darkness. And let's see here. Is there any point going for deflection? I think I'm just going to go for Rip. Oh, he missed. That's huge. Alright. Shady Murgleton has a very uphill battle ahead of him. I'm going to go for deflection here. He might use one of his cooldowns. Even if he doesn't, I have Immolation taken away. And Portal's coming back, so... it's kind of a good thing. My Immolation is going to expire, so that's bad. But... it's also doing damage, so that's good. It's hard to say whether that deflection was good or bad. I think it was good. So, do I go for Aura of Gonk? Nerfed by 50%, or do I just try to burn him down quickly? This thing does so much damage. I think the move here is try to burn him down quickly. I think it's a damage race. Surprised he didn't go for that Soul Rush. If he stunned me with Soul Rush, I could be in a lot of trouble. I'll go for Black Claw. And let's go for Portal. I have a dot ticking on him. This way, as long as I land this burn, even a low roll will kill him. I don't think I missed a single time, though. So if I missed and he didn't, I don't think this team is beating Triple Darkness, but... Take those. I'm just going to try to burn down Anomalous as quickly as possible. So let's get a rip on him. Razor Talons. And then he'll probably go for his basic attack here. So I have my dots ticking. I think I go for deflection here. Let me go for a rip just in case he's weird and swaps. I don't know why he would, but we take weak damage anyway, so maybe I can deflection. I guess now makes the most sense, right? Because he will die to these dots, so... Let's go for a deflection. He's bringing in the idol. Do we go for rip? Razor Talons. I feel like he's going to go for Crush. Why would he spend Sandstorm? No, he's going to press Crush because I have AoE dots. He doesn't want to nerf his dot damage. So he's going to go for Crush, which means I get a 6-round dot on him. And then I can buff that later with Black Claw. Could try saving the Mechasaur for later. I think the best bet is just sacrifice the Mechasaur for a free swap to my Imp. Then we can throw up Immolation. And once Sandstorm's on cooldown, all he has is weak damage versus the Shin Chomper. So it's... Let's see. Maybe I save Portal for later. That might be helpful. Let's bring the Shin Chomper. Oh, he missed. How tragic. I think I want to go for probably Rip first and then Aura of Gonk. Well, I already have a Rip ticking on him, so yeah, let's go for Aura of Gonk now. Before he has a chance to throw up Darkness. And now, I can get double bleeds on him. This is actually quite good. I'm thinking I want to go for Black Claw first, though, because Sandstorm's up. So that Sandstorm's going to nerf my rip damage. As long as I land all my attacks here, I don't think he's going to burn down my Shin Chomper. I take weak damage from Darkness, and it nerfs my healing, but I'm still healing for, like, a lot more than he's doing damage, so... The only thing I really have to worry about here is Sandstorm. Let's keep spamming Rip. And he's going to die to dots here. I could try bringing in the... Could bring in the Imp here. Goes up in the air. So I could use Portal. That seems smart. Do I really care about refreshing Immolation? I don't think so. I think I just want to go for Portal here. I'll bring in the Shin Chomper. And unless Sandstorm crits, I shouldn't die here. So do I go for Black Claw or Rip first? It's going to throw up Sandstorm, so I think Black Claw might be better. I'll go for Rip. Go for Black Claw. Sandstorm will kill me. But he still has to hit my imp a couple times. Unless he, like, high rolls a bunch in a row. Don't have immolation rolling. I just have to go for burns and hope for the best. If he low rolls and I don't miss, I think I win this. Because I have Black Claw on him. Okay, that deflection accomplished nothing. It's just he's taking dot damage. That was a throw. Just have to land one more burn. Actually, I don't even think I have to. How much is that bleed hitting for? He was dead. Dead through Sandstorm. Alright, so when I'm farming these Miscellaneous Mechanica, I usually start my route right about here at Sal. He's one of the daily rares, so you want to kill him every day. And if you have the dumpsters unlocked, then there's a spawn point for one right here. So you want to kill that daily rare. And then I like to jump down here and then turn left. There's a dumpster that can spawn right here, so I'll just... Oh, forgot. Be out of combat. So yeah, you want to kill Sal real quick. Check for this dumpster that can spawn right here. And then I like to just go around the arena here. Because there is a dumpster that can spawn up here on this hill. It's easy to miss from down there because it'll be hiding behind this box right up here. So I like to go through here and then just keep an eye on your minimap to see if there's a dumpster that spawned. It can spawn like right around this wall in this area. So one of the weekly rares will spawn right next to this dumpster on this platform. So make sure you kill this guy once a week on all of your level 90s, because he has that 5% chance to drop it. Then I like to go through here, keep an eye out for a dumpster that can spawn over here. About there, yeah. And then over here on your right, there's a dumpster that can spawn underneath that fan. It's up right now. Easy to miss while you're driving by. But they do show up as treasures on your map while they're up. By the way, once you loot them, they disappear for you and other people. So if you have competition, it's really not worth doing these dumpsters. You're better off just doing the rares and going to a different zone or a different phase. So kill this guy every day. He has a chance to drop loot once per day. One of the dumpsters can spawn here, and then one can spawn over here. And then there's another spawn point right here. Up here on the left, there is a dumpster that can spawn in that corner right there. And then one of the weekly rares will pat through here. You can see he's up right now. I already killed him, so it doesn't show him as a dragon on my map, which means I'm not eligible for loot on this character. But yeah, he's one of the ones that you want to kill every week if you can solo him. Or get a group together. So, that's one of the weekly rares. Then I like to head up here. There's a dumpster that can spawn right here. It's up right now. And then there's another one that can spawn up at the top of that hill. I'll show you where I'm talking about. This guy Nitro is a daily rare, so kill him every day. And then there's a dumpster that can spawn right behind this lumber pile, right over here. So usually I kill Nitro, and then I'll head in here. And you want to kill this daily rare every day on all of your characters. And then just keep an eye out for a dumpster that can spawn up here. Usually I just kind of drive over here and then check my minimap see if there's any dumpsters up. There is one over here, but I'll show you the spawn points. So you can see it clearly from the road, which is nice. The other one you can't see because it'll be behind a wall, but you'll see the treasure icon. And then you want to kill this guy every day. It's one of the daily rares. So go ahead and loot this dumpster, and then I'll show you where the other one could spawn in this area. It's going to be around that corner back there. Right next to these NPCs. So once I kill that daily rare and then check these spawn points, I'll just mention there is one of the weekly rares that can spawn up here. So you want to kill the one that spawns right here every week. As long as you're like level 90, and you preferably want to have a character that has a short interrupt kick. Like, don't play a Boomkin or a Shadow Priest, because you won't be able to interrupt his heal, and he's just going to full heal every 15 seconds. You can line of sight it, but he can still sometimes cast through walls, so yeah, that guy's a pain in the ass if you're not level 90. Or even if you are level 90, if you don't have a short kick, you're probably not going to be able to kill him, or it's going to be a pain. So there's a dumpster that can spawn down here. I'll try to ping it. It spawns right next to this dumpster fire. It's easy to see from a distance, and same with the one that spawns. Well, they're all easy to see from a distance, but yeah, there's one that can spawn behind that NPC over there, and you'll see it easily from a distance. Up here we have a daily rare, so you want to kill them every day. And then you don't have to bother checking this golf course. There are no dumpsters or rares that can spawn basically past this bird, so this whole area, you don't have to worry about coming here ever. There's no dumpsters and no rares. There is a weekly rare that can spawn, and he pats through here, so you want to kill him every week. And then when I'm driving through here, I like to check. Don't want to get in combat, but just check down there, because there's a dumpster that can spawn down there. There is another dumpster that can spawn right about here. And then there's 3 more spawn points over here. So one will be right here. The other will be up next to that drilling machine. And then the last one is going to be right behind this NPC, right about here. So I just kind of like to drive through here real quick. Check those 3 spawn points. They're pretty visible from the road. And then we'll head down here, where there's several dumpsters that can spawn and 2 rares. So the first rare is going to be over here, and the other one's going to be underneath this bridge. I'll just show, it's these 2 goblins right here. So you want to kill her every day, and then these 2 guys together are daily rares. So usually I just drive down this area, and I'll just kind of check my mini-map to see, is there a dumpster up? Because usually there will be, since there's like 3 spawn points. The first one's going to be right here. The next one I think is the one that's up right now. Oh, no it's not, but it would be right here. And the last one is up right now, so we'll go ahead and drive on over to it. It's going to be behind this wall. And you can easily see that on your mini-map if it's up. So yeah, kill those 2 daily rares. And then I like to drive down this way because there is a dumpster that can spawn right about here. There's one that can spawn right up against this wall. It's very easy to see. And then usually I just take a left right here and then just drive straight up here. So there's a dumpster that can spawn right here. And then I just like to check my map because there's another one that could spawn over here. And you'll see it very easily on your mini-map, but it's a pain in the ass to go over there. So just check the mini-map. It's not worth driving down there. I'm going to, though, just because I'm going to show you exactly where it spawns. So it's going to be in this corner. And it's right next to where this this weekly rare will spawn. So kill this rare every week. So just retracing our steps. There was one that could spawn right here, and if it's not up, just check your map right where I just was to see if that one's up. I like to take a left over here. Keep an eye out for a dumpster that could spawn behind this flight path. Or flight master, I should say. It's up right now, so go ahead and loot it. And then there's a couple more dumpsters we have to keep an eye out for. The first one's going to be over here on our right. It can spawn right about there. There's two that can spawn here. So one will be right in this corner. There's one that can spawn right here. And then there's another rare down here that you have to kill every day. So in order to get to it, you just click this little sewer drain. Hop down here and can kill those rats every day for a chance for it to drop. And then there's a dumpster that can spawn. I think it's about here, along that area. If it's up, you'll see it from on your mini-map from the road. So I usually just kind of drive through this road, and there'll usually be one up. Sometimes it's over there by where those rats are. There's one that can spawn over here. There's one up right now. So this is the other spawn point down this kind of alleyway. There's two spots over by this padding rare. Well, first I'll talk about these two. So there's a dumpster that can spawn right below us right here. And then there's another spawn point for dumpsters in this corner. So there were two spawn points for dumpsters over here. The first one will be, there's some NPCs right here. So it can spawn right next to them. You want to kill this rare every day. And then there's a dumpster that can spawn right here. This is where I usually begin and end my route. So again, there's a dumpster that can spawn right here. So as you can see, you're basically going clockwise, ignoring this golf area, and then taking a little detour through here. So that's the path that I take to kill my rares every day and every week. Again, those weekly rares spawn. There's one here. One here. One about there. One over here, and then one down here-ish. So there's 5 weekly rares that you want to kill if you can. And then you want to kill those daily rares. The daily rares have a slightly smaller chance to drop each time you kill them, but you get 7 chances per week, so they're easier to farm. And they also die faster. Technically, you don't have to unlock the dumpsters. You could totally get the 10 Mechanica you need without doing dumpsters, but that's the only spammable way to farm it. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck just waiting for dailies to reset so that you can kill the daily rares, and then it might take you a week or 2 or 3 of just killing rares for you to get 10 of them. So that's why it's so expensive, is because the grind is not very fun. You can't fly in the zone. You're stuck driving this pig of a car. And if you don't get the rep, the only way you can get the tokens you need to buy it is going to be killing rares, which you can only get loot from for the good chance once per week, and for the low chance, that 1 to 2%, those are daily lockouts. But if you have an alt army, you can get it done pretty quickly because you can send those tokens in the mail between your characters. So I don't know if this was helpful. I didn't find a guide whenever I tried to figure out how to get it myself, so I just kind of had to trial and error my way through it. If I knew what I was doing, I probably could have gotten the pet a lot faster, because I waited to start grinding out the items until I had Renown 13, which I'm not going to go over that, but basically you have to do these 3 weeklies for the vast majority of that reputation. And you could just do rares. That would have worked just fine. But yeah, if you want to get the pet for yourself, or maybe collect a couple so that you can make some good money on the auction house, because they do probably sell for 1 million gold. Pretty easy way to make 1 million gold, honestly. Or is it 1 million, or is it 100,000? Whatever it is. No, yeah, it's 1 million. It sells for about 1 million. We can find it. So if you check my auction house right now, Crimson Mechasaur. Crimson Mechasaur, yep, 1.2 mil. Not the hardest pet to farm, but it's definitely not easy, so maybe this will be helpful for somebody who wants to go get that pet for themselves. As always, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any team suggestions you want to see me try this pet on, leave them in the comments, and I'll be sure to try it out. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one.